Call the Midwife is often described as comforting, gentle television, but behind the warmth and nostalgia lie strange choices, quiet shocks, and unsettling truths that most viewers never consciously notice. Fact 1.
This placenta is less than 24 hours old, and there's a piece missing.
What does that mean?
If the mother doesn't get medical help.
The series is often labelled as cozy. That label is misleading. From the beginning, the subject matter was brutal. Childbirth was shown as dangerous. Death was always close. Poverty framed every story. Pain was routine, not exceptional. Comfort came from tone, not content. The writing never softened reality. It presented it calmly instead. Calm made suffering easier to watch. That calm also hid severity. Viewers relaxed emotionally. Meanwhile, trauma unfolded weakly. This contrast was intentional. The creators trusted restraint. They avoided melodrama deliberately. Quiet delivery made stories feel normal. Normalizing hardship changed perception. Rewatching removes the comfort illusion. What felt gentle feels relentless. And once you notice that, the show becomes far darker. This relentless exposure creates emotional fatigue without spectacle. Comfort comes from familiarity, not mercy.
She will develop a uterine infection leading to high fever and possible septicemia. If untreated, it may be fatal.
Fact 2.
Then the more the merrier. All hands on deck.
No, we'll manage. Chummy, you go.
Birth is rarely romanticized. Procedures dominate scenes, paperwork appears frequently, protocol shapes decisions. Midwives work within rigid structures. Choice is limited by policy. Medical authority overrides emotion. Mothers are guided, not asked. Consent is implied rather than explored. Efficiency matters constantly. Compassion operates inside constraints. This reflects historical reality. It also exposes institutional control. Birth becomes logistical. Risk is managed, not eliminated. The show avoids miracle framing. Survival is the goal. Joy feels secondary. Rewatching highlights this machinery. The system feels omnipresent. Individual stories bend around it. And when life begins inside bureaucracy, warmth feels fragile. The midwives operate as human buffers between policy and pain. Their warmth cannot fully counter the rigidity of the system.
Well, let's hope that baby likes it too, because he or she is most certainly not far off. You need to rest, Elsie.
Fact 3.
Think of all them baby clothes in your bottom drawer.
Little Mike can't wear him till he's out, can he?
That's it. Good girl.
Suffering is rarely centered dramatically. Pain is expected, endurance is praised quietly. Complaints are minimal. Stoicism is admired. Women labor silently. Emotional distress is contained. Support is practical, not expressive. Tears are brief. Recovery is rushed. The narrative moves on quickly. This reflects cultural norms of the time. It also exposes gender expectations. Pain is absorbed rather than processed. Strength is assumed. Vulnerability is discouraged. The show never states this directly, it demonstrates it repeatedly. Modern viewers notice the imbalance. What once felt respectful now feels demanding. Resilience is required, not optional, and when pain becomes routine, empathy risks fading. Strength is celebrated, but it is also demanded. There is little room to refuse endurance. Fact 4.
Of course, back then, the humane course for treatment was considered to be chloral hydrate. Let the child pass peacefully.
Costumes feel warm and nostalgic. Music softens scenes. Lighting suggests safety. But stories contradict that comfort. Housing is overcrowded. Healthcare is limited. Choices are constrained by class. Racism appears quietly. Sexism is structural. Poverty shapes outcomes relentlessly. The show avoids fantasy solutions. Problems rarely disappear. Progress is slow and uneven. Loss is common. Survival feels provisional. The aesthetic reassures viewers. The content unsettles them. This tension defines the series. Rewatching exposes the gap. Nostalgia becomes surface level. Reality pushes underneath. The past feels harsh, not charming. The comfort comes from distance, not kindness. And once distance closes, romance dissolves. The distance of time makes suffering feel contained. That containment disappears once the patterns are recognized.
No.
That was when there was little that could be done, and it was considered a kindness. There is much more to be done now.
Fact 5.
Put everything on the back burner because I might be too much of a roly-poly to pass the exam.
You're not a roly-poly.
I'm doing every ruddy thing I can to make sure I pass.
The show often pauses instead of explaining. Conversations end abruptly, reactions are restrained, music drops out unexpectedly. Silence fills emotional gaps. Viewers are left to interpret. This technique avoids instruction. Feelings are implied, not spelled out. Trauma lingers unspoken. Characters move on outwardly. Internally, nothing resolves. This restraint feels respectful. It also feels heavy. Modern television explains more. This show withholds deliberately. Withholding invites reflection. Reflection can be uncomfortable. Rewatching reveals what was never said. Silence becomes a narrative tool. Meaning accumulates quietly. The absence of closure is intentional. And when silence speaks, it often says the most. Silence prevents melodrama, but deepens weight. The absence of words forces viewers to carry meaning themselves.
And all the time dreading I'm the one who'll let you down. So no, I didn't feel that was news I wanted to share with you.
Fact 6.
That's all they can do to serve the people here. Don't think they're planning to expand.
I meant after the demolition.
Demolition?
Faith shapes daily life in the series. Decisions are filtered through belief. Moral authority often comes from religion. Nuns operate as both carers and judges. Compassion is guided by doctrine. Help is offered conditionally. Certain choices are discouraged quietly. Shame operates beneath kindness. The show presents this gently. Conflict is rarely explicit. Power feels benevolent. Benevolence still restricts choice. Women navigate unspoken rules. Deviations carry consequences. The system rewards conformity. Dissent feels risky. Rewatching reveals subtle pressure. Support and surveillance coexist. Faith provides structure and control. Control is rarely questioned. And when kindness carries conditions, freedom narrows unnoticed. Belief offers comfort but also quiet discipline. Choice narrows without confrontation.
It's under a compulsory purchase order. This land's been earmarked for a new through road.
Fact 7.
Is there any news?
It's a baby, not a lubricated penguin. They don't come sliding out to order.
Male characters appear intermittently. Their absence is normalized. Responsibility falls to women by default. Care is feminized completely. Labor is gendered silently. Authority figures are mostly male off-screen. Policy is decided elsewhere. Consequences are felt locally. Fathers drift in and out. Accountability rarely settles. Women absorb outcomes. The show does not comment on this. It simply shows it. Rewatching highlights imbalance. Support networks are female only. Emotional labor is concentrated. Exhaustion feels collective. Systems rely on unpaid care. Absence becomes structure. The narrative accepts this quietly. And when absence is normal, burden becomes invisible. Absence becomes a structural feature, not a flaw. Responsibility concentrates where power does not.
You needn't think we'll be running in with meals on trays. You get peckish, you ask directions to the bread bin.
Fact 8.
Am I too late to pick up some vitamin drops for young sir?
No, you can have vitamin drops, a full weigh and measure, an assessment for milk tokens, and an eye test if you like.
Outcomes vary by class position. Resources shape risk. Better housing means safer births. Poverty increases danger. Choices shrink with income. Options disappear quickly. The show depicts this calmly. Inequality is never sensationalized. It is routine. Midwives work around it. They cannot fix it. Compassion does not equal power. Structural limits remain. Rewatching clarifies patterns. Tragedy clusters predictably. Success feels uneven. The system treats people differently. This is not accidental. It reflects reality. Hope depends on circumstance. The show never pretends otherwise. And when class dictates survival, fairness becomes fiction. Inequality is never shouted. Its quiet consistency makes it more disturbing.
There's no queue and you're guaranteed personal attention.
Fact 9.
I'm afraid I can't visit Mr. Campbell, or indeed any of my patients.
What are you talking about? You can't visit your patients.
Episodes resolve quickly, stories move on, characters return to duty, grief is compressed, recovery is implied. The work continues regardless. Emotional processing is minimal. The show prioritizes function. Breakdown is impractical, tears are private, strength is required. This creates narrative efficiency. It also creates denial. Trauma accumulates silently. Rewatching reveals patterns. Pain is deferred endlessly. Closure rarely arrives. Stability is performative. Characters endure rather than heal. The audience accepts this rhythm. Normalization dulls alarm, and when trauma resets weekly, damage compounds quietly. Recovery is assumed, not shown. Emotional continuity is sacrificed for operational survival.
One doesn't know where to start. Well, I'll be on a train bound for Manchester, where I'm to begin my work as a missionary.
Fact 10.
Sister Evangelina, you're wanted at the door.
The show values kindness deeply. Compassion resolves conflict emotionally. Structural injustice remains untouched. Systems persist unchanged. Individual acts soothe symptoms. Causes stay intact. This creates warmth. It also limits change. Viewers feel reassured. Reality is deferred. Rewatching exposes this trade-off. Kindness becomes substitute. Justice requires confrontation. Confrontation rarely happens. Harmony is prioritized. Disruption feels unwelcome. The show chooses care over challenge. That choice shapes tone. Comfort outweighs reform. The past remains stable. Progress feels symbolic. And when kindness replaces justice, problems survive politely. Compassion soothes viewers as well as characters. Structural injustice remains safely untouched.
May God bless you on your jubilee, my dear sister.
Fact 11.
Steak and kidney pie.
Your steak and kidney pie?
Timothy helped a bit this time. I think I might have a rival on my hands.
The series rarely shows long-term change. Social conditions remain stubbornly fixed. Clinics improve slightly. Laws lag behind reality. Individual victories feel temporary. The system absorbs disruption. Progress arrives in fragments. Those fragments are celebrated. Celebration hides limits. Rewatching reveals repetition. Similar cases recur. Similar outcomes follow. Lessons are learned locally. Structures remain untouched. Hope is permitted in moderation. Radical change feels unrealistic. This restraint grounds the drama. It also frustrates modern viewers. The show accepts compromise as truth, and that acceptance quietly defines its realism. The show resists fantasy progress. That resistance gives it credibility and limits its hope.
It's a tradition in the religious life.
I think you forfeited your right to lecture me or anyone else on the religious life.
Fact 12.
You also understand that the baby came about because something happened with a man.
Sexuality is handled carefully. Desire is rarely spoken aloud. Shame shapes reactions. Reputation matters more than happiness. Choices carry social cost. Women weigh risk constantly. Judgment feels omnipresent. The show presents this matter-of-factly. There are no speeches. Condemnation is implied. Silence does the work. Rewatching exposes tension. Freedom feels constrained. Options narrow quickly. Acceptance requires concealment. Honesty invites consequence. The tone remains gentle. The implications are not. Control operates socially, and when norms govern intimacy, autonomy erodes quietly. Social control operates without force. Fear of exposure does the work instead.
Perhaps a man who wanted to get very close to you.
Yes.
Fact 13.
I saw him once in September. You re-prescribed phenobarbital. He had a routine appointment booked for the end of November, but he missed it. The secretary should have noticed that.
Medicine advances slowly on screen. Techniques change cautiously. Equipment improves incrementally. Risk never disappears. Authority remains paternalistic. Doctors dictate outcomes. Midwives mediate impact. Mothers adapt to decisions. Consent is partial. Information is filtered. This reflects the era. It also reveals hierarchy. Knowledge equals power. Power is unevenly shared. The show avoids critique. It documents reality instead. Rewatching sharpens awareness. Progress feels fragile, control feels constant, and modern eyes notice the imbalance immediately. Expertise justifies authority. Authority reduces patient agency quietly.
Very well, ladies. I'm D-mob happy this afternoon, so there's nothing too arduous on your lists.
Fact 14.
I know. Good morning. The early bird catches the worm, which means...
Nurse Mount.
Emotion is expressed through ritual. Tea replaces therapy. Routine replaces rest. Community absorbs shock. Individual grief is shortened. Collective duty continues. This keeps the show moving. It also suppresses processing. Characters rarely stop. Stopping would break function. The narrative values continuity. Disruption is temporary. Rewatching highlights exhaustion. Caregivers never fully recover. Burnout is implied. Support is practical. Emotional space is scarce. Strength is expected. Vulnerability is limited, and endurance becomes the unspoken requirement. Endurance is praised as virtue. The cost of that virtue is never fully repaid.
Mrs. Tucker's husband called. She's of the view that things are on the move, and as it's her fourth, we'd be foolish not to heed her.
Fact 15.
If the meeting goes well, he'll arrange a legacy, which may, in due course, help us continue our work with the people that need us.
The series gains power over time. Distance removes sentimentality. Patterns become clearer. Structures feel heavier. What felt warm feels stark. The writing resists nostalgia. History is not softened. Memory is challenged. Viewers reassess comfort. Compassion remains genuine. Systems remain unforgiving. That tension defines the show. It explains lasting impact. Rewatching changes allegiance. Sympathy shifts towards structure. Individuals feel trapped. The past looks harder. The kindness feels earned. The realism lingers. And that lingering discomfort is why the series endures. Time strips away sentimentality. What remains is structure, pressure, and restraint.